Hi everyone, welcome to my Saturday morning kitchen reset. So this is just a little bit of a clean I do every now and then just to give my kitchen that extra clean, the things I don't really get to. This ritual just helps me to get prepared for the upcoming week. It helps me to reduce my anxiety, which you guys will understand if you lived with me, and it just ensures a fresh start. We also add a little bit of baking into the mix. So I am not really a big baker. I was born a Bakewell, believe it or not, Charmaine Bakewell. Anyways, I'm not a Bakewell anymore now that I'm married, but Raven has been really keen to start baking, so I have decided to start baking with her. We just bought some ready mix boxes and we are going to bake them up today, and we are going to try to ice them. I know that icing is quite tricky, but we are going to use cream because I specifically like cream rather than icing sugar. And how about you guys stay around and see how this turns out? Are we going to flop it, or are we actually going to come up with something really decent? So let's get into this video. The first thing I like to do is start by packing away any items left in the dish rack. This just clears up the space and sets the stage for a clean slate. I like to keep my bottles in this round tub, and I just put them in the bottom of a cupboard just to keep them handy for whenever we need them. Do you have a weekly cleaning routine? And if so, what day works best for you guys? Let me know in the comments below. I don't like to put everything in the dishwasher. There are some certain items that I like to hand wash, and that's why these are probably here. And I tend to fill up the dishwasher from time to time and have a few items left, then I'll just wash them by hand as well. Oh, for Pete's sake, I just messed water all the way up my arm. Can you believe it? Once I've done that, it's time to clean the dish rack itself. I remove any lingering food particles or water spots. I just give it a good thorough rinse to ensure it's ready for the next batch of dishes. I like to use my Morning Fresh, which just leaves a good fragrance around the kitchen as well. I go in with my dish wand and give it a good scrub. I just want to go in and give this side of the basin a clean. It gets a bit tacky underneath the dish rack. I just recently bought the Sponge Daddy. I don't know how I feel about it yet, still trying to figure it out. What's your favorite part of doing a kitchen clean reset? Is there a particular step you guys find satisfying? I know my favorite is just having a look when I'm done and seeing the kitchen sparkle. That for me is satisfying. I like to keep a toothbrush handy inside the kitchen. It's very nice for these kind of things where you can just get into the little grooves and give it a good clean. Next up, I'll hand wash the dishes that aren't suitable for the dishwasher. This includes delicate glassware, wooden utensils, and just some other items that require some special care. Also, at times, I don't get to put everything into the dishwasher, it gets full, so those remaining items I might just quickly wash by hand as well. Bearing in mind Raven and I just baked, so a lot of this is actually from our baking. This green tumbler, I cannot tell you how hard it is to open. It's the silliest design ever. You can't get a grip on it, there's just nothing to grip on. I tried to squeeze it, I tried to use a cloth to open it, I ran it under hot water, and I then tried again to release it, but it just would not screw off. I eventually gave up and left it for later for when my son comes home. I don't feel that my kitchen is clean if there are any dishes in the drying rack. For me, a clean kitchen is a clean drying rack. Your basin should be empty and your drying rack. Otherwise, it's not clean. So on this specific day, Raven and I actually decided to bake a cake. We haven't really done baking before and she's very keen to get started. So we thought we would just buy some of those ready mixes in a box and then practice some icing on them. We specifically wanted to use cream as an icing, not icing sugar. I just find it very, very, very sweet. And I went and researched a recipe online. Most of the recipes called for gelatin, which I did not have. So I went and researched it and actually found that you could use corn flour. So we used corn flour in ours just to give it a bit more stabilization. Wait till the end and you guys can see what it looks like. The bottles that you saw on my counter, I like to recycle. I have mentioned this before, I'm sure, in one of my videos. So what I like to do is just rinse them out before we put them outside in the boxes. This is just to avoid ants. Time to give the countertops some attention. Using a mild cleaning solution, I wipe down the countertops, paying extra attention to areas near the sink and stove, where spills are more common. You'll see I always go in with the drying cloth afterwards. I like to wipe and then dry. It also gives a bit of shine on the surface and it gets rid of the streaks. So moving on, I'm going to just give this little section at the back here a clean. I didn't video this very well today, I'm afraid, guys. I'm so sorry. I should have done a bit more of a close-up of this bit of clean. But I basically just cleaned off the little tray that holds all my cleaning stuff and put that back in place. And I wiped down all the items to make them clean. If you hear a little baby in the background, I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, this is a busy household and we live in it. There's a lot of us. There's 8 of us all together. So yes, it's very difficult to record from time to time. Looks like it's ready. So I'm going to take that cake out. My kids are so excited. You can see them standing in the background there. They just can't wait. What we decided to do was make a vanilla, and we also did a chocolate one. Moving on to the kitchen cupboards, wipe down the exterior surfaces to remove dust, spills and any sticky residue. This not only keeps them looking neat, but it also ensures a hygienic environment. As you guys could see, I had quite a bit of residue build up on a lot of the doors. Especially around the handles where people open and close, you'll find a lot of handprints and a bit of mess on the handles. So I'm going to remove all the items from this corner so that I can give this a good wipe and a clean. Under the coffee machine tends to get a little bit of build up and I don't like it sitting for too long. I also like to wash the tiles at the back, making sure that they are clean and shiny. And getting into the grooves around the edges where the countertops meet the wall. I like to use a soft cloth on my coffee machine. I don't like to scratch, so I just use one of these microfiber cloths. They work really well. As for the fridge, I'm not going to wipe down the shelves and drawers. I'm just going to give the outside a good wipe where little fingers tend to touch and the handles get a little grubby too. Then I'll just give a wipe and then dry it down with a soft cloth to make sure that it doesn't scratch. Moving on to the stove area, I'm just going to do the tiles and also the cupboards. Here the food tends to splash against the walls and the cupboards when cooking, so I like to give that a thorough clean. I also focus on the plug, making sure that that's also tidy. I bought this little wooden stand for my dining table, but it didn't work out so well, so I'm using it here in the corner just to store some items. And then I'm just going to focus on these last few cupboards on the side before moving on. Last but not least, it's time to clean the stovetop. I'm not going to do the oven as the oven is still really hot from me and Raven baking. So we are just going to do the stovetop. And there you have it, my Saturday kitchen clean reset routine, with a freshly organized kitchen and a sense of accomplishment. I'm ready to face the week ahead with a clear mind and a clean space. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it gave you some inspiration to clean your kitchen. I can tell you now that this kitchen will not look the way you see it now. By the next time I show you, it will probably be back at square one, and if not even worse than what it was today. And now we come to that part of the video where we check on how the cake came out. So it was store-bought. Obviously that can't be flopped unless I burnt it. We did do the cream icing. It came out rather nicely. The kids did some decorating on top with some sprinkles. It could have been covered a little bit neater, but I think it didn't turn out too badly. Give us a comment below what you guys think. We'd love to hear from you. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.